Hello and welcome to Calendom Talks Nonsense, Season 2, Episode 6. We are into the second half of the 10 games a season, or it could even be further than that. We don't know so far. And for the first time in our podcast career, would you say, we're actually filming in daytime. It's a weird one. It's a strange one. We're not used to the lighting right now, but of course, I'm joined by Cal Nicol. How you doing, mate?
Not so bad, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Like I said, second half of the season, and we've got a few topics that we need to speak about. Obviously, Manchester City play against Liverpool on Saturday.
They do.
The England fixtures that we just had, as well as your local teamers and the usual stuff as well, and all that in between. So obviously, we're going to start off with the Manchester City versus Liverpool game. 12:30 on Saturday, I believe. Probably the lowest hype that we've had in this game in the last 5 years, really, just because of, sorry to say, how...
No, it's all right.
Well, not much of a drop-off, because you currently are, let's have a look at the top of the Premier League right now. You are 6th in the league, 5 points off Newcastle and Tottenham, more points as well, but games in hand. What's your thoughts on the game overall, I'd say?
It's a tough one, really, because obviously just coming back from an international break is always a bit weird with Liverpool. It either works dramatically in or against, our favour. And we've got some players back in training that is a positive. Darwin Núñez got injured just at the start of the international break, but he looks to be fit to play. Luis Diaz back in training. Massive boost. We've missed him, drastically missed him. So, looking at it on paper, it's a bit healthier than what it would have been. But as you say, it's not really got that thing to it. I heard somebody talking about it today, about this should have been the decider, really, shouldn't it? This should have been the big one to see who was going to do it. And it might still be if we can get a result. It might cement Arsenal as getting the trophy at the end of the season. But yeah, it's a really strange one for me now, because our next 3 fixtures, I can't remember which way around the other 2 are, but it's City, Spurs, and Chelsea. So,
oh God, right? I didn't even realize that.
If we can do something dramatic, then it works brilliantly for us, and I think that would really push us on to getting that 4th position. But that's the best we can aim for now. I think if we get 7 points out of these 3 games, which is still a mammoth task, then I think we'd have a chance. But yeah, it's weird. I'm not really too... I'm usually terrified before games like this, but what?
It's a free hit.
Not so much.
It seems like a free hit, doesn't it? Who did you say it was? Who've got City, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea?
I think so. It's either... I'm sure it might have been Spurs. I think Chelsea are in midweek. It's either Arsenal or Spurs.
Well, Chelsea, I mean, at this season are a write-off completely. So you'd say that would... what'll happen is you'll beat City and Arsenal, lose to Chelsea. But what might help you as well is on Sunday, it's Newcastle versus Manchester United, which is a huge fixture as well. Obviously, the repeat of the final. But yeah, you got Darwin Núñez coming back. He's obviously a cannon up front for you. Chaotic is probably the nicest word to say about him. Big Pete, BOC are probably going to be watching the game live. I haven't actually spoken to him for a while, to be fair. I need to check up with him, see how he's doing, because he's obviously his YouTube went away, didn't it? So hopefully you can regrow that to where it came back from. I'm guessing you'll be watching it as well. Away at City, it's never a nice place to go to. You've won there a couple of times, but you lost there last time 3-2. It's
more what I'm worried about is our record with the early kickoffs.
Yeah, all right.
We've played 4, scored 2, drawn 2, lost 2. I think this season. So it's not
rough. It's not great. Oh, let's get away from that then. So obviously next is England played against Italy and Ukraine. Obviously, the Ukraine game was a bit more of a foregone conclusion. Pretty easy, weren't it? In that second half, especially, it was pretty synonymous that we were going to win that game. But this man himself got the record, and obviously, the time this comes out will be the 30th, and it'll be about a week since he got that record. The lovely man himself, a nice a nice player, a nice professional to lead the line, I'd say. Harry Kane now has got 55 goals in 82 games. To compare that to Wayne Rooney's 53 and 120. I think a lot of people have been asking, would Harry Kane get to 100 goals?
Oh, God. It would be... I don't think it's impossible, but it would... I think if I could picture seeing that with my own eyes, that would be one of the biggest sporting achievements I think I'd ever see in my lifetime. I'd love him to do it. I absolutely love Harry Kane. I think he's a brilliant role model. He's an exceptional player. But, oh, God, I couldn't picture an Englishman getting 100 goals. I just can't see it. I don't know. I'd love him to, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, he's going to do it. No, I'm not sure.
You can put your neck out. Put your neck out. So, yeah, if you had a gun to your head right now, would he get it? It depends how many friendlies or qualifiers you, because
that's true. If we get Sam Marie,
5, that's
a big one. Yeah. So if we play them and he scores 10, then that's a dramatic step in the right direction, isn't it? But I don't know. It just seems weird. I couldn't imagine it. But loads of people fancy him, don't they? Like David Seaman, Neil Warnock in midweek saying they think he'll cruise to it. So good luck to him.
Depends, because at the minute he's only 29, and I compared it to Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney, by the way, is only 37. I was
crazy,
like,
isn't
oh
it?
my
God, he's been retired 5 years.
Yeah, he probably has actually.
Yeah.
DC United. He's back there now, isn't he? My God, what a drop! What a complete collapse that was after Everton. Yeah, 29 years old. So let's say he's got another 6 years, especially the way he plays now.
Yeah,
he drops deeper and deeper as he gets older, but he still gets the goals, which is amazing to see. And obviously, the England team, is getting younger and younger and it's getting better and better each year, it seems, as well. The under-21s now are probably the best they've ever been in the last 10 years, especially the first team as well, like Jude Bellingham. Oh. Don't like to say it, but generational talent, isn't it? Like, you can only say that for one player, and it has to be him. We're missing out players like Foden as well. Like, there's so many players, and there's so many players that aren't even making it in the team at the minute. Like Ben White wasn't in the team, Tomori wasn't in the squad.
Could have easily got recently James Maddison. You know, one of the best players in the Premier League this season. He's English and he's creative, and you're like, that's what we need. And then obviously he plays in that game. He has a worldie, and I don't think that'll be the last we see of James Maddison in an England shirt. So good on him. But you look at like you say, the amount of players that aren't really in and around it. You think, I know he's not had his best of seasons, but even still, players like Trent Alexander-Arnold, like it's the luxury we have is in majority of positions, bar the centre halves, I'd say, is we have so many good players that you're going to look and think that fella starts for one of the best teams in the country, and he's nowhere near it.
He's
and then there's two fellas who are great in Kieran Trippier, Reece James, and Kyle Walker. Yeah, and he's got to pick one of them. We're an embarrassment of riches at the minute, aren't we? The team.
Trent Alexander-Arnold has obviously got 3 starts in the last 33 for England. I remember that stat. Insane. And you even got the likes of Rico Lewis at Man City 10 years ago. He would have walked into the England team. Now he's just about getting into the under-21s. It's just a struggle to see when Harry Kane goes, who takes over that role, because you got the likes of Balogun over in France now. He could even go to USA or Nigeria. He could switch countries. There's not really that other player in the pipeline. Maybe Tony, because he's 27, so he's only 2 years younger. Yeah. I'm sure there'd be someone that I think most people were hoping that Ferguson, the Irishman, would swap to English.
I was just about to say, I remember when he was banging him in for Brighton, I was like, he looks serious. Like, is he English? And then, no, of course he's not.
He could have been. Yeah. We're going to give him a few, because we've nicked Rice and... I never understand that Rice and Grealish argument, because one's a Brummie and one's from... one's a Cockney. So,
it's one of those things, isn't it? Where they're like, am I good enough? Like, I don't know just yet. I think I might be. I'll go and play for Ireland, and then sorry, I am good at... Right, brilliant. See you later. It's not nice, is it? But yeah, it's pretty much.
Yeah, because did Rice he got 2 caps, didn't he, for Ireland? But they're both in friendlies, luckily. Because if that would happen now, that'd be Nations League, and he would be playing for Ireland now.
Yeah.
I think that the only position that we're struggling for now is a defensive midfielder, because obviously Phillips it's played like 2 games for City this season.
Yeah.
And then after that, it falls off a cliff, doesn't it? There's nobody there. You could put Rice there, I suppose, but then you're suffering with the other positions going forward a little bit. Henderson's at the end of his crescendo, isn't he? But yeah, all looking positive, isn't it? I bet it's a refresher for this season for you, the England games.
Oh yeah, do you know what? I've weirdly, it all adds up. I have enjoyed watching England so much recently, obviously because of this. But this past international break, I've made effort to watch the games in full, and really enjoyed that on Sunday. It was a great spectacle, obviously with Harry Kane before kickoff, and yeah, it's just good to watch them at the minute. They're fun to watch. It's not a case of I have to watch this and have to sit through it, waste 2 hours of my life and then crack on. It's actually fun, and you can get behind them. I always felt like that was a problem with England at one point in my life, where they were scoring goals and I was like, oh yeah. But now when they score, I'm up celebrating and made up. So I think that in itself says something about the relationship with the team that the fans have now compared to way back when. So it can only be a good thing.
You can imagine that, because obviously Southgate will get them to the Euros. It would have to be an absolute collapse now for him not to, because the Italy game, the win was amazing in itself. This would be his last tournament. It has to be, even if he wins it. You'd expect it to be. The issue is that then after that, who? Because will he go internally again? Lee Carsley's Irish. It's a bit of a weird one. Would you go Potter? Would you go Howe? Would you go someone different randomly? Or I suppose in like 2-3 years' time, we'll find that out. But that, as well as the Harry Kane thing, is a bit of a worry. Who do you replace him with? And that's insane to say when he started his whole career. Southgate, yeah. I struggle to see where Southgate goes as well. To be honest,
yeah, a lot of people do fancy him for a Premier League job. I can't see that. I can't see anybody taking a risk on a manager who's had so much time on his hands for so long as England manager now, to go back into that relentless fixture list. I don't think anyone would be brave enough to want to do that. But listen, he'll be on the market one day, won't he? And he's got a bit of credit in the bank with what he's done for England. So who knows? But I'm not sure who would fancy to replace him.
I woun't have even trusted. I wouldn't have trusted Accrington Stanley with Gareth Southgate before the World Cup. Before all this time, never mind. I mean, especially now, you'd say he's been out for so long, but reputation as well gets you places, I suppose. Going on to the next, obviously the next topic, and one close to your heart, Cal. So I'll let you spew onto this one. So Burtonwood obviously played against Orford. Yes. Is that right? Orford in the Depot, semi-final. Let us know how it went, Cal, because obviously this was a few days ago now. Have you made it to the final?
We have. It was a warm Saturday afternoon. I didn't think I wasn't supposed to be in work, I don't think, but it turns out I was. Devastated. So I had to work whilst the game was on. But I had 2 lads who are part of the staff at FC Burtonwood, and I had them on strings all day. I was like, every kick of the football, I want to know what happens, right? Because don't forget, we started this football club. There's 3 lads, me, Paul Wharton and Steve Sheridan, literally created it in a barrel outside the club after England played Denmark in the Euros, I think it was. And so we made this club, and then obviously a year and a half later, now going on 2 years, we're in a cup final. Oh God, I couldn't even begin to explain the emotions on that Saturday afternoon. I was getting text. This is happening. One person, right? Can you believe this? One lad who he was on the bench actually, and he put in the group chat that we were 1-0 down when we weren't. You think, what? As a joke. So it was like a joke. And obviously everyone was like, oh, got it. And then he was like joking. It was like, why would you ever do that? To make it worse,
so weird.
5 minutes later, we actually go 1-0 down. So cheers for that, mate. Carrying on into the second half, we're 1-0 down. It's the maddest little period. The only thing I can remember is TalkSport being on, and one of the commentators on the coverage of around the grounds someone had scored in one of the proper games in there. So I was like, oh, turn it up to see what had happened. Bing, goal, Burtonwood. Like on my phone, I was like, oh my, come on. I was
Popped up,
just
that's
like
nice.
bouncing off the steering wheel. 2 minutes later, 2-1. And then I swear, mate, I think it was about half an hour after that. And by the sounds of it, nothing happened in the game. But obviously, we're all like, we don't know what's happening. I was in the van.
That's horrible. That's a horrible feeling.
I was just going down. I was like, I don't want to see anything. No messages, no nothing. Blah, blah. And then it popped up when I was like, it's pretty much over this. And the ref had added 5 minutes. So he popped up and I was like, oh, no. And it said 5 to go. And then we've done it. Nice. Went back, finished work, got into the local, and it was all still there. And then ended up on a big night out.
Well, as you
brilliant. Yeah, it was really good. And obviously 22nd of April, that's the final. So counting down the days now.
Where's the final as well?
I think it's at the Tetley Walker in Warrington. Anyone around the area will know what it is on Dalham Road. But yeah, just a weird one.
Get yourself down there, lads. Yeah. And ladies who are listening to the pod, obviously get yourself down on the, what is it,
22nd of April.
22nd of April. Who are you playing against?
It's weird, actually. I can probably announce this now. We've got a guest coming on the podcast very soon. I think it's going to be next week. And he currently plays for the first team of Rainhill United, who we've got in the final. So that'll be an interesting one. Right. Just breathing up to the final. He'll be coming on talking about other things, but yeah, that'll be interesting. So I'm going to pick his brains about every player on that team. Don't worry
Formation, about that. Tactics there every day.
I'll find something out anyway.
Congrats to Burtonwood FC and, well, maybe not so much Rainhill, because we're all Burtonwood here.
We're all Burtonwood, aren't we?
We're all Burtonwood. Come on. Just a little note as well before we get on to the segments that we all know and love. At the bottom of the Premier League table, obviously we usually talk about the Premier League in itself, and we've got to talk about it before. So close at the bottom of the table, 4 points now between 12th and 20th. It's not actually changed in 3 weeks since I did the video on my main channel. Do you want to predict quickly who you're going to go down?
Oh, quickly! Oh, Jesus! Right. I think for some reason Southampton are on a charge. I'm gonna say that they're going to be safe. I think Bournemouth come last. I'm in Leicester City in 19th, and I'm putting Everton 18th. Wow. So it'll be Everton, Leicester, and Bournemouth.
Well, I'm going to quickly say, because I said it 2 weeks ago as well, Southampton, Bournemouth, Forest. I think it's quite easy to put 2 of the bottom 3 down, but I think Forest, I almost want them to go down because of how much they spent. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The cynical mind in myself is just like, yeah, you've spent too much, get down, yeah.
I think it was the planning with them. It just seemed like, what he played once, let's have him. like Keylor Navas plays for Nottingham Forest.
Binned off some of the players as well that got him up as well. Yeah, Keylor Navas, he's probably top 5, 6.
Yeah,
he's
got like 3 Champions League. What is he doing?
It's just the City ground. What are you doing?
Oh God. I just imagine some of the conversations. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Conversation that they're having. It's like Jesse Lingard sat between Keylor Navas,
Steve Cook, and then what is going on there?
Oh God.
That is mental. Right, next up. Well, there'd be like 3 dressing rooms. Is that many players?
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah. You're in dressing room 2 today, even though.
Yeah, you're in the thirds today. So let's go for that. Next up is the team of the season, obviously, random footballer of the week. Ooh. This is what we've got so far. Obviously, Stuart Downing and Jack Rodwell added to the list. I'm just making, you know what, the issue with the John Shirley vote is that the more we put in, the more I'm worried about just randomly saying a name. Stuart, it was, like we say, it was a weak week. Last week, ironically, was a week. Have you got your player, mate? Let me just get the jingle.
I have.
Lovely.
I've gone anti-Brexit. I'm going to change it up a little bit
after our Brexit week last week. Okay. There we go.
Random footballer of the week.
Andy Johnson.
Jeff Horsfield.
Random Footballer of the Week.
And obviously, a couple of quality players, that a lot of goals between them, by the way.
Yeah.
Jeff Horsfield and Andy Johnson. And obviously, as you can see, there's 10 people on the pitch so far. So we're obviously going to have a back three. But what we're going to do is, me and Cal right now are going to decide who is going to be taken out of the team. Because obviously Andy Johnson will be there, but Jeff Horsfield was the second option. So who do we think needs to go in the poll with Jeff Horsfield? Obviously can't be a defender.
It's like picking a favourite child there.
I know.
Oh, Jesus.
Should we just do like a random number generator quickly between 1 and 6?
Use the amount of characters in Jan Vennegoor Hesselink's name.
Well, we'll just do 1 to 6, and then obviously Collins John is 1, and number generator. It's the dead area. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Right, 1 to 6. I've got it on the screen right now.
This is scary.
Yeah. 5.
God,
5. What is that?
Who is that?
Is that Rodwell? Hey, we could take Rodwell out if you want. That's absolutely fine. And to be fair, Jack Rodwell being on the bench suits him more because I think he prefers the bench.
I think he likes it, doesn't he?
I think Jack Rodwell had preferred golf than football throughout his whole career. He wants to be a golfer rather than football. Right. And that makes the most sense in the world, to be honest with you, watching the Sutherland Tie-Dye series. But obviously, if you want to, obviously, no, we won't do a vote. We'll just put Jack Rodwell on the bench. But if it comes to the point where we're getting 2 players that we don't want or do want in the team, then we're going to have to do that. Next up is the John Shirley vote. Bit of a... it's getting more and more nervous as we get along.
It's hard.
Does Southgate want his job back after the World Cup as a domino?
I told you so.
Yous can never ever do
As every nation seems too good as doing with Duffer you Daubers, Stoner and Below take a penalty. So watch out, Gareth. The pizzas are coming.
Sorry about that, Cal. I cut you off.
Every week that I listen to that intro, I pick out a different phrase.
Oh yeah, what did you pick out this week?
Don't put me on the spot. But it was something about what world class teams do, and I was like, what a silly little comment from a silly little man. But we love him, and it's it.
But obviously, so far we've got these people and things in there. So obviously, I'm not going to say them.
He looks like an asteroid about to hit Earth.
It's so cursed, that image, and I think that's the aim I'm going for. Obviously, I picked the one where he lost most of his hair before he gained it back miraculously. Actually, it comes close to home, that one. So obviously, this week we have got. To be honest with you, we were struggling a little bit, but it's sort of linked to this. The Gammon Thoughts, the classic of the channel. And I brought the attention to Cal, and obviously you knew about it anyway, the Dean Saunders and Tim Sherwood conversation about, what was it again, like low blocks, pivots, cams. He didn't understand cams, and there's a reason why they're on TalkSport right now. And I think, obviously, did you listen to that conversation live?
I'm not 100% if I listened to it live, but I think Dean Saunders might have said that a couple of times before, because I do remember Dean Saunders talking about a midfielder being a midfielder and an attacker being an attacker, and so I think he might have been reinvigorating some of his thoughts. So yeah, I'm with it 100%.
So obviously we'll add Gammon TalkSport presenters to this this lovely vote. It's kind of a bit crowded, to be honest with you. So we'll have one TalkSport presenter. Which would you think is the most Gammon TalkSport presenter? Or should we put that to a poll?
we could put it to a poll, but we could nominate some now, because there's one that I would love to nominate because he grinds every gear that exists within me. Jason Cundy.
Yeah, God. That is
God. I just can't. and he knows it.
No other words you need.
Jamie O'Hara's not far off unbearable scale, but he knows what he's doing to you, and he loves it, and he gets a nice little kick out of it, and then there's nothing you can do because he's there. And when you're screaming at him through the radio, he can't hear you. It's horrible. I'd throw him there, lock away. I'd put him in isolation in the back corner.
So we'll definitely put Jason Cundy because the description you had the second after saying it was poor, and that's all you need. That's all you need, isn't it?
Dean Saunders probably. It pains because he seems like a really great fella, but he's got to be in that poll, hasn't he?
Yeah. Just any ex-player that hasn't been around football for a while seems to get, and obviously Jim White. I mean, that's for a different reason. But Jason Cundy, welcome to the vault. We'll have you with open arms, is what we'll say. But obviously, next up, because of the vault, we'll talk about the manager that just got sacked by Tottenham. And also, it includes the second part of the podcast, which our friend Charlie Skeggs, ironically named, is going to enjoy some protein, I believe, in shell form. So we're going to kick off the podcast quiz. If I can find it right about 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's the day he's done it again, that Harry Kane, that fucking dirty little... He's done it again!
Now, you see, I'm talking facts here. I don't do if, buts and maybes. I do absolute ice in the fucking veins, mate! Fucking I'll fight you! Send that to your fucking friends! Let me talk! Let me talk!
And we are back for the second part of the podcast, and obviously it is the quiz. Obviously, like we always do every week, it's Charlie Skeggs who is back, the quiz master himself of the podcast, and obviously a Spurs fan. He who shall not be named, when we discussed it just before, tried to get this part absolutely right. He who has given Charlie a couple of eggs from last week. I'm not sure if it'll be this week. Or
how many eggs? Because I haven't prepared, but how many eggs have we got? Is it
right? I genuinely think there was one previous for missing the quiz, and then I think you got a hat trick on the night. So I think it's 4.
Well, listen, boys,
did we agree
as much as I want to, try and shirk responsibility and stuff. I'm a man of my word. And I won't give away the branding because obviously, sponsorship deals and all that. But I'll hide who makes them. But I have got in front of me anyone who can guess who that is. But I'm happy to. I will when we get to the point. I have got a couple of questions about stipulation because I am nervous. I don't particularly like the idea of this. So if I can try and make it as easy on myself as possible, I'm going to try and tweak on your heartstrings to try and soften some of it for me. But we'll get to that.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I did screw you over last season, didn't I, Cal? So I think this is your tactical revenge.
I am without mercy.
Without mercy, I love it. I think, well, as I say, I know we talked about it on the last week's quiz, so touch upon he who shall not be named. Obviously, it's a club close to my heart. Sounds to me like we knew anyway. It was inevitable after what he'd said, and in terms of how I feel about, they call it a parting of ways. Let's be honest, it was as good as a sacking as you're going to get after what he did. In my opinion, I'm sad to see him go. I don't think he was right for the club, although I do believe that, for me, we talked about last week, Cal, I don't agree at all with how he conducted himself. I don't think a manager should ever do that when they're being paid and, they've got people to answer to. And while they're under employment, I do think that these things should be kept behind closed doors in a professional manner. That being said, I think what he said was true, and what he highlighted was a more systemic issue at the club, including the man at the top, Daniel Levy, who I'm going to say his name now because I suspect the next couple of weeks I'm going to try and force him into the John Shirley vault. I don't know why my camera's glitching out. Sorry, guys. I don't know why my camera might be glitching there, but sorry.
It's all right,
mate. Just to sort of as a feeling, I'm not confident, in my team at the moment. Post that, maybe the players were so against him that now he's gone, they might. Why is my camera glitching? That's really weird. As well.
I'll carry on.
A little bit,
I think that obviously as Spurs, I bet you're fed up of these boring tactics with Mourinho, then Nuno, then the guy who cannot be named. I'm praying that you and Spurs get someone just a little bit exciting, because I think that's all you need right now. You don't need to necessarily win, but just to play well and exciting. I think that's what most Spurs fans wants as well. What do you think about it, Cal? Because obviously it was going to happen, wasn't it? It was a foregone conclusion, this whole thing.
I did think that the when it breaks that he's probably going to leave. It's the amount of time it takes them for it to actually be announced that was surprising for me. I wasn't sure why they kept it going so long to finally say it. When they did, obviously, it wasn't that much of a surprise, as we say. But hearing today that Spurs have already contacted Julian Nagelsmann's representatives, that is a move in the right direction. He's a manager that will excite and play exciting football. But when you're talking about attitudes and things like that, he is just as nasty. He's just come out today about his big argument with Sadio Mane in the dugout after I think they beat PSG and they had a big fallout because he only got 8 minutes on the pitch. So he's a tough cookie and he's got a real attitude about him. So whether he's who is the right one, who's the right guy? For me, all roads lead to Poch. We said it last week. I'm really shocked that it seems like he's nowhere near it this time, because they're all about Luis Enrique as well, aren't they? So
I think from just to, not to go down the rabbit hole again, I think that from what I'm reading between the lines, I reckon that all the managers in question, I think whether it be Nagelsmann, if you want my honest opinion, yeah, I am excited by the idea of Nagelsmann, but he's still another man. I don't know. Obviously, maybe I'm just maybe it's like what they say, like once bitten, twice shy, or whatever, because we've been bitten so many times by these managers. I'm nervous, but I get the impression that when I think the reason why it took so long is I think one, there was obviously a big shadow over Conte's contract, and I think there was either a severance clause or something. Oh, I said his surname. Am I allowed to say that? Oh, no. Oh.
I missed that, Dom.
No, I didn't say his full name.
No, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. Well, it's all right.
Are we going soft? Are we? Right, okay. All right.
This clause in he who shall not be named. Come on, boys. 5 eggs is too many. Apparently 4 is not, but there's a big severance clause in his contract, and I think that there was a big thing around that. I'm just going to try and talk straight through it because I'm so annoyed that I'm so annoyed I let myself down. I think that the managers in question, like Nagelsmann, Poch, even what's his name, Enrique, I think they're all doing the same thing, which is saying finish in the top 4 this season, then we'll talk. I think there's a few managers there that are probably saying if you don't finish in the top 4, they might withdraw their maybe, who knows? I mean, I still think.
I think once he became available as well, then that was obvious that he was going to go. I nearly did it myself. It's difficult, this conversation now. I think we need to end it now. Don't we get to the quiz or whatever we're going to do next. Obviously, if Bayern didn't sack him, I think he would still be there, and I think that it's just made it fast forward a little bit. So, are we doing the quiz first, or what's the crack?
Yeah, what are we doing? Are we egging or quizzing? What would you rather adjudicate a quiz with eggy breath, or would you do it right at the end?
I'll leave that to you guys, because sometimes it's a bit like ripping a bandage off in it. Just do it quickly, or do we save it to be the big finale of the quiz?
Well, I did it, and it was very much like whoop, and it was like Cal didn't even see it. I don't think so.
No, I didn't. No.
Right. So I'll leave it up to you boys. What would you rather do, before or after?
Or 2 before, 2 after.
That's just horrible.
That's horrible.
That's just like delayed.
That's really
half.
one between each question.
We'll do it as the main event. I reckon that sounds
good idea. Good idea. All right. Well, listen, boys. I was just saying for everyone. I was chatting to me and Dom had like a minute before Cal joined, and I was saying that I'm always conscious about keeping the quiz nice and fresh. And to be honest, maybe I'm putting too much pressure on my shoulders, but I'm always wanting to keep it, exciting and new. And to be honest, it's my lovely fiance Beth's birthday today. So I was sitting in a restaurant earlier on today, and I thought, well, I need to get a good quiz thing today. I need to get a good quiz subject.
As you do.
As you do. I know. Poor Beth.
I love it.
Thank me, she's in the other room. But sometimes, as it has been with some subjects in past quizzes, I've found like a last-minute inspiration. And I think I might have done this time, because I was looking for a little subject and I started going down a bit of a statistic rabbit hole. And I found that there's I won't ruin it too much, but there's one team in this quiz that seems to be quite prevalent during a certain season. And I'm not going to lie, it doesn't paint them in the best light, but we'll get there in the end. I'm sure you boys will work it out. And then we've got a second section, which does pertain back to an earlier subject, where we can do a little bit of a bidding war, if you will, or certainly a how many can each of you name. So we've got a, and also, although I think we'll make a little stipulation for it, it's very topical given a couple of conversations we've had. I'll keep it vague for now. But we're going to start with, essentially, this first part of the quiz is this. Before we start, obviously, let's go to these scores. And the scores are, as far as I'm aware,
on the doors.
As it stands, Cal is in the lead with 169. Dominic, well, close in these kind of numbers, but not really close in other ways, with 161. So I've got a bit of a quiz, and I think there's some points to be won here, boys. And hopefully, before both of you do well. But again, keep in mind, boys, there is one team that you're going to realise, hang about, they're getting stitched up here, but it's all true. So without further ado, the first half of this quiz is just basically some Premier League statistics. Some of them are wins, losses, draws. Some are home defeats, home defeats and home wins, away defeats and away wins, whatever, all that stuff. All along that nature. So without further ado, I'm going to start with, do you boys remember who wants to go first? Just as a bit of a laugh, don't toss a coin, or?
I'm easy.
I can never remember.
Shall we go with Dom first? Just because I was looking his dreamy eyes for a second. Like, let's go for you.
Tired eyes.
Tired eyes coming back from Birmingham. Dom.
Yes.
4 teams, right? So the idea of this is, I think, is that I'm going to give you 10 chances to name 4 teams. If you can name all 4 teams within 10 chances, I'm going to give you 5 points. And Cal's going to get the same as well. Cal's going to get the same as well, all right? Don't be a shithouse, Cal. I'm not doing it, all right? You can get 5 points if you can name all 4 teams. If you can't name all 4 teams, I will give you a point for each one you do get. But there's only 4, so you get an extra point if you get all 5, basically.
I like it.
4, sorry, 5, get an extra one. So there are 4 teams that have lost 29 games in a single season in the Premier League. If you can name 4 of them, then I will give you 5 points.
Okay. We're going to start. I'm going to put the little feed in the ducks. The ducks. Get the ducks. Give us the ducks. Boom.
There they are.
There they are. Okay. First one. I'm going to go with Derby County.
That is a great shout. Derby County are one of the teams that have lost 29 games.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to go with another team that didn't get many points. Sunderland.
Oh, you're smashing it, Dom. Yes. You could get this in bloody 4 goes and you get 5 points. Amazing.
Just thinking of teams that didn't get many points. I reckon a team back in like the 90s didn't get many. So I'm going to say Swindon.
Oh, it's not a bad shout. It isn't one of the teams, but that's a great shout. So let me just write down here because you've given 3 so far. Go on.
Okay. 29 losses. Oldham Athletic.
No, they're not one, I'm afraid.
They did well then.
Well, Premier League. This is Premier League. And when were Oldham in the Premier League?
Like 93, something like that.
At the start,
You're good, man. Yeah, they're correct.
Is that a point?
No.
No. But I just wanted to see if
take it.
Oldham are close, but they never won. They never lost 29 games.
Who else were really bad? Who else were really, really bad? Portsmouth.
Not quite. No, not Portsmouth.
Okay. That's fine. I've still got a few to guess. I'm going to guess Huddersfield Town.
No, Huddersfield are not a team.
They were in my 4.
See now you've now got 4 more chances to get the other 2 teams. What I will offer at any point to get rid of your bonus point, I will give you a clue of the years in which these clubs were in the Premier League when they lost.
Ooh.
But that's at the expense of your bonus point.
I think if I have 2 left to go with 2, I'll do that. I'm going to go with...
You got 4 more opportunities to get 2 clubs.
I'm going to go with Bradford.
No, Bradford are not one of those teams. So you've got 3 more opportunities to get 2 clubs.
Okay. Let's think of another naff club that was in the Prem. I'm going to say Norwich.
Believe it or not, no.
No way.
What?
I was nowhere near this.
So, Dom, as I say, you've got 2 more opportunities to get 2 clubs. And if you believe you can get them both in the next 2 goes, then of course it's worth your bonus point. Or I can give you a clue, which is really only the years in which it happened, which maybe you don't think is much of a. But it's up to you. You know.
I'll ask for the clues.
I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah.
The clues. So the seasons are. One of them was the 1994 to 95 season.
Cool.
And the other one was the 2020 to 2021 season. As a refresher for those listening, 4 teams have lost 29 games in a single season. Dom has got 2 of them with Sunderland and Derby County, but there's 2 more.
The 2021 season, who went down? Was it West Brom? Big Sam. He was a bit shit, weren't he? West Brom.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dom. That's not correct. So now you have 1 opportunity to get. You can now get 3 points if you get one of the other 2.
Wow. It was really bad in that season. It must have been. So he went down last season. Should have had some sleep. It was really, really shit.
I think I've got it. I might have it.
Did he got one of the teams, Cal?
Oh, it's Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Is right, Dom. You've got number 3. Yes.
I forgot about that.
I thought because
team.
they were terrible, weren't they? I remember I put them in a predictor to go down, and they nearly got Europe the season before, didn't they? And I was like, they're going straight down. It was like, what?
So, yes. So one of the 3 teams. So, Dom, you got 3 of the teams, which of course was Sheffield United in 2020 to 2021. Derby County was in the season 2007 to 2008. And Sunderland was the season 2005 to 2006. Not for any points, but just for a bit of shits and giggles. Cal, can you think of who the 4th team might have been?
It was 94, 95.
There was the season that we won it.
Oh, yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know.
That is not correct. The team that got 29 losses in the... and it's a bit of a... I mean, this might have been a clue, I don't know, but it was in a weird season where there was 42 games.
That's why I guess like the shit teams in the first couple of seasons. Like, I was just like, it's got to be.
It was 42 games, and that team was Ipswich.
Ipswich.
Right. Was it when they lost 9-0?
Probably, yeah. I mean, that was one of the other statistics. I was just looking at Premier League statistics. And I was quite fascinated by that. There's some great ones. Maybe a bonus one if we need it. But
3
Cal, yeah, you got 3 points there, Dom. Cal, same to you.
Yes.
There's 4 teams in this question, and I'll give you 10 opportunities to get them. And if you get all 4 of them in 10, you'll get an extra bonus point and a 5th point.
Beautiful.
4 teams. I won't say who, but there's a certain team that runs through this quiz. So even though it's a bit of a giveaway, I think it's fucking hilarious. So I love it. Cal, 4 teams have the fewest Premier League clean sheets. Can you guess the 4 teams?
Oh my god!
Give us the Ducks. Give us the Ducks.
In a season? Is that in a season? Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be like 0.
No. To be fair, they've got, and I'll give you a clue. Obviously, all 4 of them have got 3 clean sheets in the season.
Wow!
I'm gonna try and do it tactically this season because I've lost on a knife edge last season. So I don't want my bonus point.
You don't want
10 guesses at 4 dates.
So good.
That's what I want.
So I'm gonna give you 4 years. I'm gonna give you 4 years, and you're gonna fucking hate me because you've done this. 2 of the teams, both. Well, I'll put it this way. 2 teams were in the 2007 to 2008 season, and 2 of the teams were in the 2011 and 2012 season. So of the 4 teams, a pair of them were in one season and a pair were in the other season.
Right, so Derby County.
Correct, that's one of them.
Oh, God. The other one was 2012. 2012. Wigan Athletic.
No. But it was the 2011 to 2012 season, yeah.
Yeah, didn't they win it in... Oh, God. I'm just going to have to... 2011 to 2012. Who went down with Derby? Who was rubbish with Derby? Birmingham City.
Cal. Nice. Yes, Birmingham City along with Derby County. So that's 2 points in 3 guesses.
Right.
You've got 7 guesses to get 2 clubs. Come on, Cal. This is feeling hot. I like it.
Was that year? The year 7-08?
Yeah, sorry. I should have said, Jess.
So are they the 2? Right.
From 2007, 2008. So the next one, you've got 7 guesses at the 2 teams from the 2011 to 2012 season.
Right. 11, 12. I can't remember. We were so bad around that time. I hated football around this time of my life. 11, 12. Let's just name a few. Bolton Wanderers.
They are not one, I'm afraid.
Oh, Christ. Every time he says no, I'm like, another life lost.
6 more guesses for 2 teams. Come on, Cal.
I can't think of anyone who was rubbish then, apart from Wigan. They were all right then as well.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, just in hope that it's not Derby that's the regular link. Norwich.
Norwich is correct.
Oh, God. Right, so maybe we have a shootout who the link is. Right, one more. 5 guesses, is it?
5 guesses at the other team, which have the fewest clean sheets, which is 3 in a single season, and it's in the 2011 to 2012 season.
Watford.
5 guesses. Watford is incorrect, I'm afraid. 4 more guesses.
By the way, that season, Cal, Norwich finished 12th.
Wow.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of going rogue because it's around a time where big teams were dropping. I really want to say Newcastle. What year did they go down? Was it 09 or what? Oh, I can't remember. It's not Newcastle, is it? You'd have said that.
Is that a guess? I don't even.
Is he all right? Are we on mute?
Hello.
That was a guess.
No,
I think that was a guess.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Was that a guess?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. To be fair, I was kind of being generous by thinking I was going to let you do a little bit of working out.
Oh,
you wanted to choose Newcastle.
Yeah, well, obviously not now, but
I'm afraid you chose Newcastle, and it is incorrect. So no, it's not.
That was the season they were really good.
Was it? Because I'm just thinking of all those bigger teams that had a nightmare around the time, like Aston Villa.
I'm afraid it's not Aston Villa.
So that
you guys are not gonna like the answer to this, but we're gonna keep going. You've got 2 more guesses at 1.
Blackburn Rovers.
Could well be. We went down that season.
I realise I gave it away. It is Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, I knew from the start. I went, oh no, it's us, isn't it?
Oh, Charlie, that was a semi-clue. That
it was, and I realised that. I was like, oh fuck. Oh well. Well, listen, Cal. In 9 guesses, you gave up your bonus point, but you got 4 points.
That was
4 points. Nice.
Steve Keane.
Yeah,
we're gonna bleep that.
Oh yeah, no. We should bleep that one. As far as they
why?
go, yeah.
I'm not getting. It's not getting paid. We're not getting paid for it.
I know. I'm joking. Well, I mean,
no, it's actual.
You're gonna get cancelled. You get it cancelled in like 5 years' time. People go, that amazing podcast, Cal and Dom. Cal and Charlie witnessed Dom Horrible. An horrible word. Right.
6 months in prison.
I've realised that I'm going to give away the stitch-up team here because I think it's absolutely hilarious. Dom.
It's 1 or 2, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to say it in the first 2 words. Derby County hold the record for the least amount of points and goals scored in a season.
Mm-hmm.
It's 20 goals, which was also equaled by Sheffield United. But how many points do you think it was? So this is where 3... No, sorry. So Derby County holds the record for the least amount of points and goals scored in a single season. But they equal the goals, I should say, with Sheffield United, which, by the way, even they are getting a bit trolled here because it was the same season they got the least amount of games. So Sheffield United and Derby both had 20 goals in a season, but Derby hold the record for the least amount of points in a season. And I'm going to say, what is the points? You get a multiple choice. If you get it straight away, it's 3 points. Multiple choice for 2 points or whatever. I don't know. Just basically, you get chances.
I'm just going to guess straight out of the bat. I think it's 11.
It is.
Hot.
It
hot.
Is.
Yes, it is, Dom. For 3 points. Dom, yes.
Yeah, boy.
It is.
It's whenever a really rubbish Premier League team like Forest at the start of the season just gets above it, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, when you get double points like that.
Yeah.
I love it. Right, here we go. So,
Paul Jewell.
That was smashing, Dom. Loved that. Right.
Thank you.
Cal, and I am trolling them here.
Yes.
Derby County in the 2007-2008 season conceded 89 goals, second only to another team who conceded 100 goals. I've got a clue for you if you want it. Who is the team that's conceded 100 goals in a season?
Oh my God!
It's in a different season to Derby, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, sorry. What I'm saying is, I just
imagine 2 teams like that.
The joke is this: that when I was researching for this quiz, I wasn't even looking for a team, and Derby County in 2007 is almost every negative statistic, and I love it. So this question is: Derby County in the 2007-2008 season conceded 89 goals, which is quite horrendous. However, that's only second to a team that conceded 100 goals. 3 points if you get it straight away. Multiple choice or a clue for 2 points.
That's a
tough.
That is
100 goals in the Premier League. Yeah.
Yes.
That's 2.6 on average a game.
Quick maths.
It's really not. It's right here. quick calc.
I'm gonna.
To be fair though, to be fair, not to give anything away, but your calculation might be inaccurate based on a.
Yeah, Carl, I think it's earlier. I think it's when it's the 42 team.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm gonna need a clue for 2.
Well, the clue I'll give you a 2-part clue. The first part is it was the 93-94 season.
Could be one of them teams I mentioned, to be fair.
What's the second part of the clue?
I always feel like, to be fair, I want to research this. I want to say the second part of the clue is I don't think they were in the Premier League season other than this year, but I would want to probably research that because I don't want to be completely incorrect. But it's basically it's a proper,
the clue could be right.
Team. Yeah, the clue could be right. I don't care because I'm handsome and I'm a shit quizmaster, but I'm loving it. Go on, Cal. I'll give you 2 points if you get it. Come on, 2 points.
I'm either guessing Oldham or Swindon.
Pick one of those.
That I will. I'm going to go for Swindon Town.
Because I love you, you are correct. It is Swindon Town. I'll give you 2 points for that, Cal. It was Swindon Town. Now, Dom.
How the fuck did they not lose 29 games but concede 100 goals? How the hell does that happen?
It's insane. Absolutely insane.
What a season.
I know. Absolutely amazing.
What a free freeze.
Like their fans in that season went, 100 times.
Who's this for? This is for Dom. To be honest, we'll have a laugh. Come on. Dom, I'm going to give you a point for this, and Cal's going to get a point for his one. Dom, the best Premier League goal difference in a season was Manchester City's 2017-2018 season with plus 79. Who has the worst goal difference with minus 69?
No, oh, wait, mate. Surely not.
Is it Derby County?
In which year?
07-08.
You are correct.
You're fucking joking me.
I know, but I don't care because I think it's fucking hilarious that Derby County had the worst season ever. And that wasn't
Mike, my question is, in what football establishment did Paul Jewell first meet Giles Barnes? That's what I wanted.
I don't know, mate.
Well, Cal, do you know what? It might be just as easy. I don't know, but it's for a point.
I can't believe it's just. Go on.
I know, but I did it for a laugh because it's
spelled Derby.
Well, the irony is this, Cal. Right? I'm going to give you a question just as easy as that. Ooh. Which club has been relegated the most times from the Premier League, and it's not Derby County?
Norwich.
You are correct. It's
Norwich. I would have guessed Norwich as well.
See, a nice little cheeky point there, Cal. I wasn't going to make it.
I think the thing is we've not got enough points, so
I think we broke 200 here. We actually have.
But it's all about morale. It's all about
4-2 and a 1. I think we broke 100. 200, yeah. Brilliant. Oh no, sorry, it's 1-6, didn't it? I thought it was 1-9-6.
No, it's not. So
we'll get there.
I'll be honest with you, boys. That was a quiz. I had a second section. I can maybe save it, or we can do it now. But it's up to you, boys. Or we can just move on to the eggs, which I'm trying to maybe
eggs.
Go
on
then. I'll save my second part of the quiz. For another week because we had a lot of fun there. But what I will say is this. Hang on, let me just check. 1, 2.
We should probably do some sort of a speech before you take your eggs as to why you are taking your eggs and why you shouldn't ever have to take your eggs again.
Well, before all this, because I'm just delaying it, to be honest, the quiz scores really as it stands are Cal 178 because he got quite a few points there, and Dom is 168. So now we're down to 10 points. Ooh. Scary business, my man. Scary business. Let's make a speech. Let's get these eggs out of the way so I can continue my lovely fiance's birthday. But I'm a man of my word. I have my eggs.
There they are.
And what is it?
Do you have a glass?
Of course I do.
All right. Just thought you didn't mention the glass. I was like,
all right. How many eggs? How do I do it, boys? We're doing.
We're getting a speech going. Are we getting a speach going first?
You can do the speech while I crack the eggs into the glass.
I think you've got to do the speech.
I don't think I can crack the eggs and hold the glass, but I'll.
You make a speech while
you put the glass down. And then,
So, for those of you new to the podcast, as I crack the egg into the glass.
1 of 4. That's not good.
No.
Enjoy it. My beloved Tottenham Hotspur had a bit of a meltdown against, this is egg number 2, against Southampton. And our beloved manager at the time decided that he wanted to choose that moment, egg number 3, to come out. Egg number 3, to come out and say some quite scathing things about my team. And I accidentally, in a fantastic quiz number 4, and I'm really egging this.
Oh.
So I did that. That was really bad.
You deserve the box for that.
There's 4 eggs. I decided to say his name. I'm pretty sure. What was it? I said his name a hat trick of times. Oh no, I didn't. I said his name and someone else's. Someone who returned to Man United. There's an eggshell in there. That'll hurt my throat. I'm not looking forward to this at all. I said a couple of names. Long story short, one of them is a legend of Man United who came back and failed, and the other one is a Chelsea legend who failed. And I'm going to do 4 eggs for the quiz. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate you all.
Oh.
I don't like it. He doesn't like it.
What's even worse is that was just one of the 4 eggs.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh.
My God.
I did. Are you dying?
Well, I'm not being funny. I did not expect it to be this hard.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been too upset if you'd have whisked them a little bit.
Give them a bit of a froth.
I'm not going to lie. I'm very quickly regretting this. This is horrible. Yeah. I've just had a full fucking dinner for Beth's birthday as well.
Oh, you got dessert now.
Hang on. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. I'm not going to lie. This is disgustingly horrible. Okay. So what's worse? It's not even the yolk. It's not even the yolks. It's the bit in between.
It is. Yeah, I know what you mean. it's like the other part that's the worst. Oh.
I think it's definitely the yolk.
Yeah, to be fair.
I got 2 in that time. At least I got 2 in that time. Oh, my word. Right. Just to level you all, I'm never, ever saying anyone's name ever again. This is not worth the forfeit. One last egg, everyone.
I'm really going to enjoy this cup of tea.
I've got a can of unlicensed, but I'm going to drink that straight away. Bon appetit, the gang.
Oh. Hey. Here we go.
That weren't so bad.
That was the single most disgusting thing I've ever done. I love you both. Now let me go away.
Okay, Cal's going to end the pod.
It's been a pleasure talking to you both today and watching that, I think. Charlie, thanks again for an amazing quiz. We love it very much. He really wants to go. Anybody, any last words? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, everything. Charlie, get to the bog, mate. Get going. It's over.
We are done. Bye.